Howdy folks, hope that you're having a great day wherever you are on the planet. I'm Dr. Flo and I'm loved and lovable, and so are you. My lives promote your wholeness every day, and part of my message is that your heart is trying to tell you something. Your heart is trying to tell you that you are loved and lovable. For the next 30 minutes or so, I'll be here with you on TikTok. I invite you into the space if you want to be here. All are welcome. I just have one rule. No BS. No BS as we find our loved and lovable nature. I was talking to Tara Paolo's studio over on Instagram about how it's one thing to have courage, which is its own thing to cultivate. It's one thing to have courage and to cultivate courage. However, it's not enough to simply have the courage to reach for a dream or to move through a day. You have to have some sort of internal conviction. Especially those of you who are out here trying to build larger than life dreams. I'm a person who is building a larger than life dream. Not impossible, not insurmountable, not undoable, not better than me, not, bigger than me, none of that. It just takes a lot to have the courage and conviction. Conviction also, and one's ability to have conviction in the things they say and what they're putting into the world, comes through resonance. An internal resonance and an external resonance. And what has occurred to me in this life is that as it relates to social media and the state of our relationships and the state of distraction in our society, the echo chamber is either very intense on you or it's a very long echo, if that makes sense. And so you may say help, and because of the way the internet is set up, that help may come to you months from now. It's important that you speak it today. Why? Because some of our dreams take months, years, decades to manifest. And it's important that in that manifestation process, we're real about what it is. Have you not noticed that on the internet, as it relates to your concerns, cares, and beliefs, it is easy to find the global thought, but it can be sometimes hard to resonate with the vibration that you really want to resonate with. Anyway, that's my thought of the morning. I want to thank you for stopping in and stopping by into my flow. I've asked for more grace just for today. I've asked for more courage just for today. And I've asked for a greater conviction. That word is heavy on me today. Conviction. A firmly held belief or opinion. A conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. If you're not firmly held in a positive belief or opinion about yourself, if you lack conviction, it will not go. I stayed in bed this morning until I found my conviction. No one's going to resonate with my work today, and no one's going to resonate with my organization. No one's going to resonate with my peace, and no one's going to resonate with my love today if I don't have conviction. And ain't nobody going to relate to you either. In fact, these days, I'm mostly attracted to people who are moving with conviction. Moving with conviction will help you to step into your purpose faster. Why have I not moved as fast as I would like to move? because I had lacked conviction. And this morning, I chose to just remain alone, mostly alone, and in bed with myself until I could find that conviction, that firmly held belief and opinion of myself. It is what it is. Why do our businesses not move forward? Why do we not grow? Why do we not see the future that we imagine as joyous, bright, and secure in our quantum field? Why is it not here yet? Why is mine not here yet? Why have I not seen the things that I have in my dreamscape yet? I'm not moving all the time with conviction. Conviction. A firmly and seriously held belief about myself in proximity to you. All of you. I have to figure out what my firmly and seriously held beliefs are. Or we ain't going nowhere. This is both universal and personal. To me and to you. What does it mean to you to be a person of conviction? This is not what I came to talk about today. This is not in my prepared notes to share. None of this is prepared. I was out on my stoop, and I'm always asking myself as a loved and lovable human just like you, what is going on with you, dude? Anybody else have these conversations with yourself? What is going on with you? And sometimes it can be very negative. Sometimes it can be very destructive, and sometimes it can be constructive. But this morning, I just could not settle in an energy that belonged to me. I was feeling a lot of other energies, but it did not feel this morning like the energy I was feeling belonged to me. Like, yeah. Yes. What is it? And I could not put my finger on it. I'm like, is this the depression? Is this the anxiety? Like, is this like, am I hungry? Like, I kept trying to name it. I've also been taking in a lot of stuff, y'all. I've been taking in this political theater that we're going to talk about tonight in Deconstruction Junction every Tuesday, 7 for now. I took in the deep campaigning of it all. I took in the empty promises. I watched another human be murdered by the police. Sonia. They released body cam footage of this. And I took that in. I faced myself. Two things are actively missing from my life, and I'm going to share in this boost taping today. Two active things are missing from my life right now. Joyful, creative expression in community. It must happen. It must be. It must, for the preservation of my soul. What's going on with me? I need top tier creative community. I'm, trigger warning, I'm fiending for top tier meow. top tier meow. Meaning that, like, it don't gotta be perfect, but we've been in rooms with artists creating at every level of the craft and had the hairs on our arms stand up because of a human connection to the source of all life, which is the creative process. I must find venue for this. I must source these people, and I must have that daily. Top tier creative expression and play. We lost our sound, and I was really, really enjoying it, but I think we lost power. And everything's plugged in, but it just would not draw fast enough. I'm the ancestor's dream. I am. I am the ancestor's dream. I am. I am the ancestor's dream. I am. So my soul longs for three things actually. The making of art in community at top level. And because I'm in the room, it's going to be top level. If I've got a microphone, it's going to be a chef's kiss. That's been something that I didn't have conviction and courage about. Like, some of us are walking around in life looking for the spaces where there's going to be top tier meow and top tier creative expression and top tier art making and top tier creation. We're looking for the spark of creation. Are we not looking for that spark? Are we not looking for that spark? Maybe I'm alone in looking for that spark. I think we're looking for that spark when some of us are the people who create it. We're never going to find it because we are at the top. So I know what my purpose is. I know what my message is. I know what my brand stands for. I know who I am. I know all of these things. I know what I want. Important to know what you want. So because I know what I want, then what else is missing, dude? I asked myself this morning. And instantly it popped into my mind, you lack conviction. In this moment, you're lacking in conviction. And it takes a strong mother father to look at themselves in the camera or the mirror of life or the mirror of the mind and say the hard shit to say. I'm going to leave that on the table. This is The Path to Self-Love by Ruby Dahl. The one thing that will change your life forever is accepting that everything is temporary. I'll read that opening sentence one more time. And thank you for coming to the Daily Boost with Love and Action Network. Lovedandlovable.bio.link to learn more about the things we bring to the world. We don't show up empty-handed. This network does not show up empty-handed. the thing that they've been missing from their chief operating partner and chief executive partner. That was a dig at you, Tara, in the room. I'm owner operator of this circus of love. The thing that has been absent is my unwavering belief in what the fuck I bring. That was a honorific distinction, nothing more or less. But if I ain't buying it, ain't nobody else gonna buy it. You're wondering why you don't have the relationships you want, the family dynamics you want, the creative expression you want. You don't even really believe it for yourself. You don't have the conviction. Hello, beloved. You don't have the conviction to reach for that spark. And I'm talking about like the spark of the moment, the spark of today. Oya agrees outside. It just started pouring down rain. Mama Oya has a very interesting way of always letting me know when I'm on to something. I also need to make sure I didn't leave anything outside. Well, let's open up the door so you can hear it. All right. This is Ruby Doll's The Path to Self-Love. The one thing that will change your life forever is accepting that everything is temporary. Happiness, pain, failure, success, your relationships, your entire existence is temporary. And the fact that you can't be sure whether you will live another day is enough to show you that whatever it is you're stressing about, it will pass. Happiness and pain are both fleeting, sprinkled throughout the larger chapters that make up our entire lives. Lives that can pass with the blink of an eye. So what's the point of comparison? Of wanting what other people have and feeling like you're a failure if you don't get it? What is the point of holding grudges and letting your ego direct your behavior and letting your mind take hold of your relationships in a way your heart would not? Knowing that this exact moment will never come back should be enough to urge you to pick up the phone and make that call. It should be enough to make you realize that if you're in a difficult place right now, hurting, frustrated, upset over something that you don't have any control over, give yourself time. You won't be here forever, neither in pain nor in happiness, so make the most of it. Forgive more easily. Learn to push away the bad stuff and accept growth in ways that benefit not just you, but everyone around you. Let go of all the negative feelings and animosity and be kind, be soft. Be gentle with other people and remind yourself that if today was painful, if today was awful, if today was nothing like what you hoped it would be, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. That's The Path to Self-Love by Ruby Doll. Nate Posthwaite. Nate Posthwaite said abusers and enablers will create chaos around you when they see growth and or healing in you. They may pour on harder than they did before. It's not because you're not getting it right. It's because they're not. And they're afraid of you understanding that. I'll read it one more time. This is Nate Posthwaite. Abusers and enablers will create chaos. Abusers and enablers will create chaos around you when they see growth and or healing in you. They may pour on harder than they did before. It's not because you're not getting it right, okay? It's because they're not. And they're afraid of you understanding that. And I'll add to it, they're afraid of you seeing it. There's a power in witnessing. Unapologetic witnessing. We're not to Friday, which is our IC day in the network, all about spiritual seeing. However, it's important to see what you see and not try to not see it. I know that's a double negative there for the smart people in the room, but it's important that we witness, ceasefire now, freedom to Palestine, watch Kamala's money, little things like that. Little things like that. Little encouragement post. No matter how messy it gets, it will make sense in the end. I'm convinced, folks, today and every day that what's done in the wash of our lives comes out in the rinse. So don't worry about trying to figure it all out. Don't busy yourself in being presumptively paranoid. I don't know who that's for in the room. Maybe just me. The presumptive paranoia, meaning that you are assuming and presupposing in advance that people are out to get you. People don't like you. I promise you, no one is paying attention to you, girl. I have thousands of friends, and I literally scroll like a couple minutes at a time. Spirit revealed to me this morning, or I was talking to myself, that no one's paying attention to you, Flo. And that's the good news and the bad news. No one's watching me the way they're watching Kamala. This is my opportunity. I'm sorry, Kamala. No one's watching me the way they're watching Kamala. So I can just go and live my life. I can be happy, healthy, and free because they're watching her. And they should, because she's a Zionist and a cop. They should watch her. Also watch the felon. Watch the felon too. But Spirit was very, very clear this morning as I was in this, what is going on with me? And I was talking earlier about this, what is going on with me? We all have this energy, does anybody else in the room have this energy of we're taping for later, but what the fuck is going on? And what the fuck is going on with me? Anybody else have those lingering questions? What the fuck is going on? We are being bombarded. And I don't use this word lightly in the context of Gaza, but we are being bombarded right now with information. Biden is meeting with Netanyahu tomorrow, but we don't even know if he's alive for real or not. Conspiracy theorists speculate. Allegedly. Kamala is giggling her way. And very credible black woman. The most powerful thing I heard yesterday was that we don't need to be debating Kamala's blackness. Her politics are very interesting, and the way she treats black and brown people is very interesting in the policy of it. However, she would have been at the back of the bus with y'all and with me. Can we agree on that? That they would have sent Kamala to the back of the fucking bus? And we know who they are. We know who they are. Moving along. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, If you can trust yourself when all people doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if neither foes or loving friends can hurt you, if neither foes or loving friends can hurt you, if all people count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, and I've changed the language throughout this because men are vicious. So I just changed all their language. We're taking the language back. I do want to highlight something that I heard. I gotta end this, I should say, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a child of the Most High. Just to land that plane. I'm going to say this though. Watch these men. I've had to check some shit in myself in the last 72 hours as it related to Kamala. I've had to recalibrate what the fuck is going on. Watch the men and do not be afraid to counter them. I'm also leave that on the table. Watch them. I'm talking to the women and femmes in the room. I'm also talking to the patriarchy inside of us all. Watch it. Especially over the next few months, within and without. Because Kamala represents a breaking through that's trying to happen globally. They were just last week debating about whether female genital mutilation was allowed or not on the great continent of Africa. So there is higher powers army that's trying to keep the woman body free and keep the femme body free and the trans body free. And then there are other oppressive forces at work. And if we are not mindful of the patriarchy as it presents itself, even as she acts on behalf of it, as my grandmother used to say, good googly moogly. Doesn't matter that she used to be a hoe. So was I. doesn't matter that Kamala used to be a hoe. If she considered herself one, so was I. Every good hoe stand up. But we have to be very careful that that tool is not used by the patriarchy against her. Let me move forward. Isn't it weird how you can experience situations throughout your life that are so heartbreaking or stressful that you can't imagine ever being okay again? Isn't it weird how you can experience situations throughout your life that are so heartbreaking or stressful that you can't imagine ever being okay again? Then a few weeks, months, or even years later, you notice that the days go by without you thinking about those times. You laugh, you smile, you go about your day, and you realize you're stronger and happier than you thought you ever could be again. Those bad times might always be in your mind, but you feel at peace with your past. And memories that come back don't punch you in the heart like they used to. You realize that you are, in fact, as strong as everyone was saying you were at the time. And that you would, in fact, get through what you went through. Isn't it amazing how much we can change, how much we can learn, and how much we can grow? I have a comment on the screen. I think it's important to see beneath the surface of identity politics to political actions. Yes. Told you, I'm less concerned with who she blew in 1962. I'm more concerned. I'm not concerned at all with who she blew in 1962. I'm very concerned with who is backing her now. I follow the money. I follow the money. I also play the game. And I would encourage everyone to play the game. And if you know the game, play it. And play it well. I know that Kamala is going to earmark money for me under the LGBTQIA distinction. She's gonna always make sure that the white homosexuals have betting. So will I. But you watched me tell those white gays who I was nationally. You were there in the room. We interviewed together. I should find that. Put me in, coach. Isn't it weird how you can experience situations throughout your life that are so heartbreaking or stressful that you can't imagine ever being okay again? Then a few weeks, months, or even years later, you notice that the days go by without you thinking about those times. You laugh, you smile, you go about your day, and realize you're stronger and happier than you thought you ever could be again. Those bad times might always be in your mind, but you feel at peace with your past. And the memories that come back don't punch you in the heart like they used to. You realize that you are, in fact, as strong as everyone was saying that you were at the time. I'm going to stop here in this recording and just say, there are people who will witness your brilliance, and you will choose to either accept that or not as the truth of your life. You have to align with your strength today. That's what the teaching from this is, for me. You have to align with your strength. Every day we get a choice about whether we align with our strengths or whether we align with our weaknesses. You have to make a choice today, and I have to make a choice today about how we're going to align with our strengths. I did not come for any of that I just shared, and we've been here for a minute. So I'm going to get into week 30 of the year. This week's theme in Love and Action Network, taken from the 52 Weeks of Conscious Contact, is all about duty. It is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the third day of the week, and so here goes with day 3's reading. We have this anchor text that you can follow along remotely if you wish. That helps us just stay focused on something that's positive and uplifting. It is derived from the 12-step traditions, which are therapeutic and free. So if you're out there and you cannot afford traditional therapies or have access, or you're not comfortable, some people are not comfortable with these spaces, and they don't see the validity in spending the money, just know that they're free tools. And this is one of them. Many of us get confused about recognizing our true duties. Some of us may think our duty is to respond to every request. That's not responding to duty. It's a codependent response to life. We don't agree with Melody every day, but some days she just... Many of us get confused about recognizing our true duties. Some of us may think our duty is to respond to every request. For me, or every comment, or every text, or every piece of... I get so distracted, and I lose so much focus, and I lose so much steam, trying to keep up with every morsel of what's happening in the algorithm that doesn't rhyme. Some of us think our duty is to respond to every request. That's not responding to duty. It's a codependent response to life. Then we may sway the other way. I'm only going to do things I want to do. Nothing more and nothing less, we think. On some other planet, that might work, but it doesn't work well here. It's hard to do things we'd rather not do, especially once we get in touch with ourselves and have some sense of what we like and what we don't like. Once we show up, however, it can be challenging to respond to our duties with poise, an open heart, and grace. And every Tuesday in our network, we're presented from this text with a challenge. The hardest thing about duty is deciding what our duty is. The voice of true duty is distinct. Learn to recognize it when it beckons. The voice of true duty is distinct. That's like this morning. I was out on the porch and I was like, what is going on with me? And very clearly I heard, you lack conviction. And I went, ah! Just inside. That time was outside, but this time was inside. Oh, I'm sorry, the previous time was inside. But yeah, the voice of true duty to yourself, and how that's supposed to happen for you in the world, and how you're supposed to make it happen for you in the world, because you're driving the whole thing and you're programming the whole thing and you're in control and you've grown, right? So just know that when the true voice of your purpose and the true voice of your heart, when it speaks, it's very distinct. Thank you, Darby. Payday is Wednesday. Paydays are on Wednesdays on TikTok. So thank you for making me a happy camper. I'm going to roll up your roses and smoke them, if you know what I'm talking about. The real ones know. Yeah, the voice of your spirit is very, very... I'm going to roll every rose. Every rose you send me, I'm going to roll it up. I'm going to roll it right up. And I'm going to think of you fondly. Thank you so much. I really am. Thank you. I really am. I really am. I think you also left a comment for me that I want to get to because I think it was loving. I love you and your family, Dr. Flo. God bless you all. You are loved and lovable. Well, I received that. I really do. You may know that the reason why that statement is two-pronged, loved and lovable, is because most people get that they're loved. A lot of people don't get the self-love part, but somebody right now is tormenting somebody for love. I have been tormented and a tormentor Ask Poppy. So, but we're tormenting someone or being tormented towards love right now, and that's fine. That's how it goes. So we get the love part, the loved part. But lovable is something else. Being lovable is the doozy. Because what being lovable does, Darby, is it allows me to take in the full magnitude, weight, and power of what the fuck you said to me. We are no longer, as healed people and whole people, pushing compliments to the side. We can't. Have you noticed that we cannot afford to reject love in this moment? We cannot afford, for our soul's sake, to reject love right now. Now is not the now is not the time to abandon love. Another thing Spirit spoke to me. Where are the pavilions of peace? Where are the pop-up? You want to talk about a PPP loan. Where are the pop-up pavilions of peace? Why is there no prayer vigil for the state of the politics in this nation and the fallings of bombs in other countries and the loved and lovable nature of our... Why are we not sitting candlelight every day? Where are the pop-up pavilions of peace? And do not point me to your nearest church, because some of them do not grant me peace. I gotta build something bigger. I gotta call somebody like Kamala. I gotta get 200 people. They said when she was anointed by Skeletor, they said that she would need to get in touch with no less than 200 people to whip them for political purposes. I need to be on the line with 200 people within the next 72 hours myself to promote peace. Where are the people holding space for peace? Swipe up and swipe down off of my face right now. This is no longer competition. This is conviction. This is no longer competition. I went out into the space. I went into the Bigo. I went into the TikTok. I went into the live spaces. Where are the people elevating the hope and peace? What does, they asked in the podcast this morning, what does your radical hope look like? But I promise you this, when the voice of your true purpose speaks, it will be distinct to you. Learn to recognize it when it beckons. Ooh, this is a long one. This has been a long session, y'all. I apparently had a lot to unpack in community. Loved and lovable. Thank you, Darby. Thank you, Tara, for holding space. Thank you always for holding space for your loved and lovable heart. And thank you for holding space for me. I'm convinced. I am convinced that I am what radical hope looks like. And I feel what radical hope feels like. And I do the things of radical hope. It may not look like much to y'all to be live daily in the network, but we're raising a higher vibration. It will be returned. I am convinced. We love the idea of radical hope here. We speak about radical hope all the time. We understand the nature of radical hope. I just led you all through the 7-day pillar challenge from Poppy Water and the ancient mystics. We know that goodness is waiting for us. We know it. So why not go and get it? We know that peace is possible. We know that love is possible. We know that we are here. We know that we are present. What's stopping us from having personal power, self-esteem, and inner strength? Here's some questions to reflect on today. If you're a reflecting kind of person, here are some things to reflect upon. How do I feel about myself and my abilities? I'm going to go through these with full transparency today. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go through these with full transparency today. We'll see what happens. I was talking about at the open of this. What are my biggest accomplishments and how do they make me feel? What are my biggest accomplishments? Thank you, Tara. Wednesdays are payday on TikTok. What are my biggest accomplishments and how do they make me feel? In what areas of my life do I lack confidence? In what areas of my life do I lack confidence? If you're not asking these questions of yourself, you're missing out on half of the fun of what it means to be a thinking human. That is the one thing. Someone last time was talking about Trump. They made some kind of syndrome up that they apply to people who do not enjoy the antics of Trump. It's called Trump something syndrome. And I just, could y'all just take a moment to think? That is all I ask. I promise you I won't tell you what to do. I won't tell you what to say unless it's harmful and hurtful. But could y'all just take a moment to think? And to think about what you want in your quantum field. Anyway, in what areas in what areas of my life do I lack confidence? How do I handle criticism and failure? Last section, personal power and autonomy. Do I feel in control of my life or do I often feel powerless? Oof. Nationwide. The reason why I had a moment with that question is because the whole machine of life, the whole function of capitalism, and this republic, the whole function of it tries to make you feel powerless within a container of its overarching power. And I'm just going to highlight that as something to talk about tonight in Deconstruction Junction, because I've already been here for a very long time today. And while we do have amazing donors who buy the newsletter and purchase the podcast, I don't want to be that guy today, but we will tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern talk at length, hopefully, about this question of, do I feel in control of my life or do I feel powerless? And the systems around us that are attempting, because love wins, but they're attempting to create, I think that's what I was going through this morning. I was feeling simultaneously powerful and powerless at the same time this morning, because it was heavy on the news this morning. I didn't connect with my spirit first. I connected with Pod Saved People. which is that's just my choice, right? I picked up the phone and ran into the room. So it put me in a vibrational space of powerful. I know I'm powerful, but I was experiencing extreme bouts of powerlessness in the context of my black body, because our sister Sonia should never have died, and also me not believing in the democracy that they sell to us. I'm a little too aware and awake to go back to sleep. There's a cue in there. She'll catch it. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes, and leap, and defy gravity. Let's talk about it tonight. Because I've really been here for a long time. It's not because I have anything else on my calendar to do, because I'm happy, healthy, and free. I just want to save some of my jizz for later. Question number 2. How comfortable am I with asserting myself and expressing my needs and desires? Apparently very comfortable. How comfortable am I with asserting myself and expressing my needs and desires? I'm going to pause here for me. You can answer in the chat. I'm very comfortable with asserting myself and expressing my needs and desires. What I've lacked in my life and what has been waning is conviction. Remember, all of these quotes talk about the conviction of your character, right? It's one, like, I can have all the character I want in this house. If I don't have conviction to jump off the porch and go get it, as Meg Thee Stallion says, we got a problem. Very comfortable with asserting and becoming more so. That was last week's personal word for me. And I'm very comfortable with expressing my needs and desires. Actually, no, because I felt a bit powerful and powerless this morning personally. However, having a clarity of conviction in your life will get things moving. I'm convinced today that having conviction is the gas for the engine in your car. I'm convinced from our share today, extemporaneously, that conviction is the gas that moves your dreams higher. In the words of the great prophet, if it were not so, I would not be telling it to you. The late great mystic Yeshua allegedly said, if it were not so, I would not have told you. So I'm saying that to you today in the spirit of the red letter. Yo, you must believe in yourself today, Tara. Flo, you must believe in yourself today. Stacia, Darby, Tom, one of our sponsors who reads and watches. You must believe in the desires of your heart today. I don't know why I'm looking at that camera. It's up here. You must believe in yourselves today. You must have a clarity in your conviction. Do not allow it to get muddy. That's where I'll land. I told you there would be sermonizing, which is an art form and a craft, and I nailed it yet again because it's my gift and it's what I do, and I'm great at it. I'm the best at being me, and I get paid to be me. Thank you, donors and sponsors. Sincerely. Spirit is asking me today. The voices in my head are asking me today. Source is asking me today to have a clarity in my convictions. My social media got there before I did, because if you look on my social media, you will see images and videos and signage that's very clear. When you see the running man in the heart, you know it's us. Lovedandlovable.bio.link. 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 There's a clarity in that social. When I say to you in black and white and red, you are loved and lovable, and mean it in the socials, it is clear. What's been different is that it's not been coming out of my pores. I have lacked conviction. And it's not just my business, if we want to keep it a buck. It's also my relationships. It's also my leadership. It's also my physical care. It's all of these things, because I teach it because I live it. You cannot be one way in an area of your life and not be it in another area. I'll say it a different way in the way I usually teach it. How you are in one area of your life is how you are in all areas of your life. This especially goes out to you people who get offended when I said you cannot love your child more than you love yourself. You may want to start today, hashtag Brene Brown, Dr. Brene Brown. You may want to start today loving yourself more and being the best at loving yourself so you can give your child an actual shot. That's for all the parents. Now, me and Kamala, we're not supposed to speak about shit as it relates to your parenting, right? Because we ain't got no kids. We know something about caring about people, though. You better love yourself today. You better tap into those resources at lovedandlovable.bio.link. Lovedandlovable.bio.link. You better tap into those resources and come home once and for all. You will have to come home once and for all. You will have to have a clarity in your conviction. You will have to believe in yourself more than everybody else around you. And this goes, once again, Spirit is calling me out of this competitive energy where I'm looking at all my friends and I'm putting all the people in my life in some kind of Hunger Games thing where which one of y'all can love me the best, love me the most, and I'll give you the most attention, all these other manipulative. That's manipulation. That's manipulation. That's creating a competitive vibe when I need to be clear in my conviction. We learned yesterday in community that the most confident person is the person who wins the room. So we've been brewing this and ciphering this the whole time. This has been a great work that's been happening. This has been a wonderful week for me. Because this morning when I asked myself and went into myself and said, yo, what the fuck is going on with you? Spirit was very clear. You lack a clarity in your conviction. Your deeply held beliefs about what you're building and what you're doing and where you're going, moment by moment, you flip-flop. I told y'all about how when I was on cruise ships and singing and performing all over the world, they would call the flip-flops the flip-floppa. It's like the worst thing you could wear on the ship because they were getting so many injuries and the safety rating of the ship was going down because people were walking from the beach onto the ship. Both guests and cast and officers were leaving the ship and coming back on in flip-floppas and the flip-floppas. And so for a whole contract, they just kept talking about, please be mindful of the flip-floppas, the flip-floppas, we give you some privacy. I don't do a well Italian accent, but that's what I've been doing with my life. I've been flip-flopping. We can fix this. We can heal ourselves and heal the world. We can. We can heal it also once and for all. We had this agreement that we've made that our transformation And the transformation of our thoughts needs to be something that happens in a long, linear process. I will heal in 5 years after intense therapy that I cannot afford. What did the text say from Melody today? The voice that is speaking to you of your highest good, the voice of true duty to yourself and to the world, it is distinct. Learn to recognize it. If you would like to learn to recognize the voice of distinction and the voice of love in your heart, we invite you to go once again to lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. We would love to get to know you better. In the words of one of our community partners and members and leaders, every day's Halloween. And if you had seen me this morning, you wouldn't even have recognized me because I was going through it. However, there's a seat at our table for you. Like I said, when you joined, no BS, please. But there's a seat at the table for you. And you can learn more about that at our website. Until next time, thank you to all of our partners and our donors and our sponsors and our friends. Thank you to everyone who's actively choosing right now to believe in a more radically hopeful message than what we're being sold and served. For all of you who are choosing to place your bets on hope instead of despair, kudos to you. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free of all suffering. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free of all suffering. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free of all suffering. As above, so below. Thank you, strength. And thank you, strength in me. Thank you to the source of my conviction. Thank you to the source of my conviction within me. I'll see y'all on Bigo next. Have a wonderful day. Stay in your joy, stay in your power, stay loved and lovable. As Tara always says, joy is the revolution. So if you're out here trying to fight people and be at war, there is a better approach. Have a wonderful day.